Hello everyone. In this video, we'll go over solutions to quiz 2 in Pre-AMC. Now first, let's look at problem 1. So problem 1 is a defined operation question. Okay, so here we have, this is A, B, C, D, which is A, B, C, D, and this is defined as A times D. So it's A times D and minus B times C, right? Okay, so basically it's A times D and minus B times C. All right, so as a convention, when letters are involved, we often omit the multiplication sign. In other words, in most cases, we just write this as A times D and this as B times C, and we omit the multiplication sign. All right, so for this particular example, so we have 3, 4, 6, 8, all right? So then we just do 3 times 8 and minus 4 times 6, right? Which is 3 times 8 minus 4 times 6. So that's 24 minus 24, that's 0, right? So the answer is 0. Okay. All right. Now let's look at problem number 2. So problem number 2 is a question about the percentage. Okay. So the problem says in 2005, the stock price of a company is $100. And then in the year of 2008, it go up. So it go up by 20%. And then from 2006, 2007, due to the financial crisis, it went down by 20%. Okay? And the question is, all right, so what is the price at the end of 2007? So for this problem, at the first you might think, oh, it first went up by 20% and then it went down by the same percentage, and they might cancel with each other. So you say, okay, so at the end the price is still $100. Well, which is not correct, because the point is, when we say the percentage, when it goes up and it goes down, it's based on the one which is right before it, not the one which is at the beginning, right? So here, so let's look at this problem, all right? Okay, so here, in the year 2006, it go up by 20%. So 20%, this is, recall, percentage is just special fraction. So it's 20 over 100. So this is just 1/5 if we reduce this to a simple fraction, right? Okay, so in 2006, it go up. So it's 100 times 20%. So this is $20. So okay, so it's increased by $20. Okay, so this one will be $120. So this is for at the beginning of 2006. And then it went down by 20%. Okay, so let's calculate the 20% of $120. So this is 120 times 105. Okay, so this equals to 24, right? It's 24. All right, so here we should minus. So this one shall be 120 and minus subtract 24. Because 20% of 120 is 24, all right? So, okay, so then we get this equals to $96. Okay, so this is the final answer. So you see it's not 100, it's less than 100, all right? Okay. So here, as I said, the key point is when we calculate the percentage, when it goes down or it goes up, it should be based on the one right before it, not the one at the very beginning, okay? All right, now let's look at problem 3, okay? So problem 3 is a travel problem, right? So Austin drove from Irvine to Santa Barbara, so one way and the other way, right? So there's speed on the way from Irvine to Santa Barbara, and there's another speed, and due to whatever reason, so from Santa Barbara back to Irvine, and the question is, what is the average speed of the round trip, right? Okay, so if I write, so this from Irvine to Santa Barbara, so this is 120 miles, right? Okay, so the speed is 60 miles per hour. So this is the way from Irvine, you go north. Okay, so now go back to Irvine. Still, the distance does not change. It's still 120 miles. And the speed, because of the traffic, it becomes, it's reduced to 40 miles per hour. All right. Now, so what is the average speed of the whole trip, right? So this is the question. What's the average speed of the whole trip? Okay, so here's the wrong answer. Okay, so this is wrong. Now you might think, oh, okay, so if it's average speed, so okay, I just take the average of the two speeds. That means you think, okay, so just 60 plus 40 divided by 2, which is 50, which is not correct. Because when we calculate the average speed, it does not mean the average of all different speeds. It means the average speed of the whole trip. So that according to the formula, it should be the total travel distance by the total amount of time. Okay, so the correct one. So the correct answer or correct solution should be this. Okay, so what is the so let's go back to this formula. So let's plug numbers into the formula. So what is the total travel distance? So total travel distance, this one's clear because it's round trip, right? So it's 120 plus 120, which equals to 240. So this is round trip total travel distance. All right. So what is the total amount of time, right? So then you need to add all hours together. So first of all, if you go from Irvine to Santa Barbara, right? Go from Santa Barbara, so it's 120 divided by 60. So this is 2 hours. Okay, so that's one way. And the other way back is 120 divided by 40 miles per hour. So that's 3 hours, right? So it's 3 hours. Hey. So because here we have the formula, the average speed equals the total travel time divided by the time, total travel distance divided by the time. Okay, so equivalently, of course, we have the time, the travel time equals to distance divided by the speed, right? Divided by speed. Okay, so then we have when Austin drove from Irvine to Santa Barbara, he spent 2 hours on the way, and then from Santa Barbara back to Irvine, he spent 3 hours on the way. So the total is 2 plus 3, which is 5 hours. Okay, so here we have is 3 plus 2, which is 5 hours. So here's miles. Therefore, the average distance, so the average will be 240, the total distance, total travel distance, back and forth, and divided by the total time. So this gives us 48 miles per hour, all right? Okay, so this is the average speed of the whole trip. All right, so here the key point is keep this in mind. So if you want to calculate the average speed, use the formula, the total travel distance divided by the total amount of time that traveler spent on the way, okay? All right, now let's look at problem number 4. So this is a problem about a fraction. So we want to write, so basically you see, we want to write a fraction on the left-hand side, which is 7/8 to 1 over something, right? Okay, so let me write, so 7/8. 7/8 equals to 1/1 plus 1/8. So first, let's figure out what shall be the denominator on the right-hand side, okay? All right, so that means if I want to write this as 1 over something, what shall it be? All right, you see, this is basically the reciprocal of a fraction, right? So we know if you want to do the reciprocal, or you say want to do the division between fractions, what you should do, you should flip it, right? All right, so that means this here, what you should have is 8/7. In other words, 7/8 equals to 1/8/7, right? 8/7. Okay, so then this tells us this one shall be 8/7. Well, now we need to split 8/7 into 2 parts. One is the 1 and the other one is 1 over something, right? Clearly this one can be right as 1 plus 1/7. Then if you compare, say, okay, so I get a 1/8 equals to 1/1/7. And this clearly tells us the A shall be equals to 7, right? So A equals to 7, okay? So here the key point is you need to know when you look at the reciprocal of fraction, what you do is you just flip the numerator and the denominator, right? So this is how we do division between fractions, right? Okay. All right. Now let's look at problem number 5. Okay. So here we have 3 friends that are discussing the results of their last month's test. Okay. So let's say we have the B, C, and H. So H is Hannah. So Hannah shows B and C, her test, okay? And let's see their responses. Hannah, right, okay. So Hannah shows a result to B and C. So let's say this is C and this is B. So C says, Cassie says, I didn't get the lowest. I say, okay, not the lowest. And then B said, oh, I didn't get the highest. Okay, so not the highest. Okay, so you see, because C does not know the score of B. So if she saw the result of Hannah, and if her response was, okay, I'm not the lowest. So what does that mean? That means the score of C must be greater, no less, well, must be greater than the Hannah, right? Okay, not the lowest. Okay, so here it must be greater. So from here we get C must be, the score of C must be higher than the score of C. And similarly, so here we have, okay, so if when B saw the score of Hannah, if he said, oh, well, I'm not the highest, I'm not the highest. So what does that mean? That means the score of B must be lower than the score of Hannah, right? Because he does not know, B does not know the score of C, right? Okay, so from here we get the B must be lower than Hannah. Okay, so if you combine these two implication together and we list them from the highest to lowest, we just get C is the highest, H is in the middle, and B is lowest. Right? So that's what we have. Okay. All right. Now let's look at problem number 6. This is a problem about arithmetic sequence. Right? We have 10 arithmetic. Okay, so we have an arithmetic sequence that has 10 numbers, and we know the first one. Okay, so here we know the first one, and we know their sum up is 100. Right? Okay, so we have 1 plus the second one, plus the third one, plus the fourth one, plus the fifth one, plus the 6, 7, plus 8, and plus 8, plus 8, 10. Okay, so this equals to 100, right? Equals to 100. Okay, so let's recall. So if we have arithmetic sequence, how we calculate the sum? We use the Gauss trick. Now, Gauss trick is basically you can do pairings, right? We have different ways to do. If you just do pairing directly, or we just reverse the order. Okay, either way, it doesn't really matter. So here, let's say we just do the pairing together. So okay, so we do the pairing. Okay, so Gauss trick, we use Gauss trick, and we do pairing, right? Okay, so 1 and 10, if you add together, equals the same as 2 plus 9, and it's the same as 3 plus 8, and such, right? So in other words, what we have is 1 plus 110 equals to the second one plus the ninth one, and then you all go to the fifth one plus a sixth one, right? Okay, so here we have how many pairs we have? We have 5 pairs, right? Because in total are 10 numbers, so 5 pairs. So 1, 2, 3. So this is 5 pairs. Okay, so this implies, okay, so in total is 100, right? In total is 100. So 5 pairs add together is 100. So that means each pair implies each pair equals to 100 divided by 5, that is 20. Okay, so this is 20, this is 20, and this is also 20. Okay, and then this tells us the last one. So the last one, A10, this guy is 19, right? So this must be 19. All right, so we get this one is 19. Okay, so and also it's arithmetic sequence. Arithmetic sequence means the common difference from the previous one to the next one is the same. Okay, so let me write here. So it's A, the first one. So this is A2, this is A3, A4, and all the way to this is, let's say, A8, A9, and the last one we know is 19. We just figured out, right? It's 19. Okay, so each time you go up by the same, right? You go by the same difference. Okay, so here you have in total you have 9, right? 9 jumps, right? 9 jumps. So clearly, in order to go from 19 minus 1, which is 18, okay, and then we have 18 divided by 9, which is 2. So that means, okay, so that means each time you jump by 2, right? So from here we get this is the plus 2. plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, and this will send 1 all the way to 19, right? All right. Okay, so then we get a2. This is 1 plus 2, which is 3, right? Which is 3. All right, so the key point, so let's quickly review this problem. So here the key point is we need to memorize for the Gauss trick. The Gauss trick tells us how we sum up an arithmetic sequence. So basically you just do the pairing, right? So here we say, okay, so each pair, we have 5 pairs and the total size is 100. So each pair is 20. And then we figure out the last number has to be 19, right? In order to go from, because last number is 10th position, your first position is 1. In order to go from 1 to 19 by 9 jumps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So each jump has to be a 2, so which means the common difference is 2, right? So this 2 is the common difference. So here, so this is the common difference. All right, so therefore the second one has to be 3. Okay. All right, now let's look at number 7. So number 7 is what's the fraction of the, okay, so here we have this picture, right? We have a bigger circle, and then we have 7 small circles. They're tangent to each other. Tangent just means they touch at one point. And then they also touch the outside, 5 also touch the edge of the big one. And then we have those red region, right? So the question is which fraction of the larger surface area is shaded? Okay, so first of all, let's recall how we calculate the fraction. So fraction by definition, it shall be, so the denominator shall be the total area of the big circle, right? So the area of the big circle. And then the numerator shall be the area of those, of the red region, right? So this shall be the area of the red region, right? Okay, so here you see, well, first of all, we need to remember that how we calculate the area of a circle. So let's recall this. So if I have a circle, say I have a circle, so this is a circle, and this is R is called radius, right? Radius is the distance from the center to the boundary. So R is so-called radius. Okay, so then the area equals to pi times R squared. So this is how we calculate the area of a circle. Okay? So this pi is notation that to represent a number, right? Number is 3.8, right? So it has infinite many digits, and which they do not have obvious pattern, and so we use a pi to represent this number. All right. So all we need to do is we need to figure out what is the radius. Okay. So we need to, what is the radius of the bigger circle? Right? So the radius of the bigger circle is, if we from the picture we see, okay, so this is the center, right? By the symmetry, this is the center. And the radius of each small one is 1. So this is 1. This is also 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. So then we get the radius of the bigger circle is 3. Okay. So the radius of bigger circle is 3, right? So this one is 3. Okay. It's 1, 1, 1. So which is 3. Okay. Now. All right. Okay, so then we know the area of the bigger circle. So this is just pi times 3 squared, which is 9 pi. So that's the area of the bigger circle. Okay, so how we calculate the area of the red one? The red one is irregular shape, which means we do not have direct formula to calculate that. So what we use is we just use cut and paste. So how we get the red? Because the red is basically the big circle minus 7 small circles, right? Okay, so here we have the red region equals to the big circle. So the big circle minus 7 small circles, right? Okay. All right. So the big circle, we know the area. Big circle, we just calculate 9 pi. So that's big circle. And minus 7 times small circle. Each radius is 1. So the radius is 1. Okay. So just pi times 1 squared, which is just pi, right? Each pi. Okay. So I calculate this is 2 pi. So I get the area of the red region is 2 pi. Okay? So I get this one is 2 pi. Therefore, the fraction, so I get the fraction. So we get the fraction equals to, so it equals to 2 pi over 9 pi. So 2 pi cancel with each other. So eventually you get is 2 over 9, right? So you get is 2 over 9. All right. So this is how we get the fraction. So what is the key point? The key point is number one, you should know how to calculate the area of a circle. So the pi times r squared. And number two, which is basically cut and paste, right? Okay. So how we calculate the area of this irregular shape? We just put it back. We say, okay, this irregular shape plus the 7 small circles is the total circle, right? So it's with a bigger circle minus the small circle, right? And then, of course, we need to know what a fraction means, right? Fraction is the area of the red one divided by the area of the bigger one, right? So that's, you get 2 pi over 9 pi. So that's 2 over 9.